Happy New Year from Indio, California. It's a nice crisp day here. I'll try to show you around. I spent the night at this RV park. It's very nice. I've been here before. And now I'm getting ready to go to the desert for a week. Okay, back up. I didn't go for a week after all. My original plan after I saw my family in Pasadena was to stay south. It's cold and rainy in Northern California. There's a huge RV show every January in Quartzsite, Arizona. The show is affectionately known as the Big Tent. Quartzsite is in the Arizona desert where Interstate 10 crosses Route 95. It's just east of the California border. This year, the Big Tent will take place between January 19th and the 27th. Coinciding with this event is a rally for people who travel in anything with wheels. Hence it is called the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, or RTR, organized by its founder, Bob Wells, who runs a website called Chief RV Living. He's written a book that helps people live in their vehicle. You know, I do not live in my RV, but I do appreciate his advice on how to camp and travel inexpensively. And I admire how he's helping other people. He has over 239,000 people subscribed to his YouTube channel. This year, some 6,000 people are expected at RTR. I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. A caravan of his followers were gathered near Yuma at the American Girl Mine Road. With a stop in Indio, I planned to go there first. Then I would join the women who wanted to go to the women's RTR, which would take place January 4th through 8th in Boise, Arizona. The idea was to make some friends with some other women RVers, and then we could travel on to Quartzsite. Annie and I headed down to Pasadena after Christmas. Here we are, traveling over the grapevine. Because of the expected Rose Parade visitors, Pasadena lifted its fee for parking on the street overnight. You can see they were ready for the parade, which came right past that corner. The bleachers were all set up. I got out of the San Gabriel Valley before the hordes descended. Here's the loop I ended up taking. It was only 3 days, but absolutely gorgeous. I went from Indio to the American Girl Mine Road camp. The weather was so icy and the wind so cold that everyone was huddled in their campers. So the next morning I went to Yuma, looked around, and drove back the other way. I stayed in the southern end of California, then turned north so that I could drive through the Anza-borrega Desert State Park. I spent that night at a beautiful resort in Temecula and then headed back to Pasadena. So here's Ramsey. I've emptied his tanks and filled them with water. The only thing I have to do is find propane. Actually 2 trains. There's another one behind it, going the other way.
sun is starting to set, so it's very pretty. Okay, you can't see that too easily. There's another Class B like mine, actually two right there. There's a regular van. Here's another Class B like mine. And then there's another one beyond that. There's two vans. Oh, there are a lot of us. That way. I'm just going to be in the middle. Just needed to find a place that was flat. This is front. Looking in front. They're pretty spread out. And they gather together once at 9 in the morning and once at 4 in the afternoon. And then usually have a campfire, but it's so cold and windy that they're not doing a campfire tonight.
I soon learned that everybody but me was a full-time RVer, and I felt a bit out of place. I assumed it would be the same at the women's RTR and at the regular RTR. After a freezing cold night, I decided I didn't want to be in the middle of the desert anymore. So I headed off to Yuma to explore. That's the great thing about being in a camper van. You can go any place you want. I then headed west. This is the farthest south in California I had ever been. It would be very easy to cross over into Mexico, but I didn't want to do it alone. At Ocotillo, I turned north, heading toward the Anza-borrega Desert State Park in Julian. Entering Julian, elevation 4,000 feet. Busy day today. Vail Lake is a very large and beautiful resort. Off-season, it was only $29 a night. During the regular season, they have all sorts of activities. I'm just exiting the Vail Lake RV Resort, which is right near Temecula, California. From Riverside, I continued on to Pasadena so I could see my grandkids for a few more days before heading home. I'd love to return to this part of the state, maybe at the beginning of spring. So thanks for coming along. I enjoyed sharing this trip with you.